Next on Startup, we head to Providence, Rhode Island to talk to Aaron, one of the creators of Sproutel. Then we head over to New Haven, Connecticut to talk to Stacey, the owner of Air Temple. All of this and more is next on Startup.
There is nothing easy about starting a small business. A Baker's Tale, all natural and gluten-free cookies, tarts, pies, and cakes online. A Baker's Tale is proud to support Startup and all of the entrepreneurs out there trying to sweeten their own story of success.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is proud to support Startup and all the dreamers, thinkers, and doers. Pure Michigan, ready for the next big thing.
You've written your own story of success, and it shows. Chrysler is proud to support Startup and all the people out there who define their own success.
My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup. I'm on Valley Street in Providence, Rhode Island, and I'm gonna go talk to Aaron, one of the creators of Sproutel, a company that helps children with type 1 diabetes. Let's go hear their story. Diabetes is a chronic inflammatory disease that destroys insulin-producing cells, producing too much glucose in the blood. At the beginning of the 20th century, childhood diabetes was very rare, but today, 3 to 4 kids per thousand have diabetes in Western countries. Aaron and Hannah saw this rising problem and knew they had to take action and follow their dream of social entrepreneurship.
Hi, I'm Aaron Horowitz. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Sproutel. And at Sproutel, our mission is to empower children to live happy and healthy lives.
All right, so tell me about yourself personally. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school?
Yeah, so I grew up just a little bit north of New York City and went to school both in Texas and in Chicago. So studying mechanical engineering in Texas and then made my way up to Chicago, studied mechatronics and user interaction design.
What the heck is that? Mecha what?
Yeah.
Mecha like a high mecha?
Mechatronics, like those big fighting robots is what it makes you think of, but
Really?
It's actually the way mechatronics and user interaction design is the way that we interact with robots. So really passionate about the softer side of how kind of technology merges with social anthropology.
What was your first gig right out of college?
Actually, I left school with my co-founder Hannah in the middle of my senior year, moved to Providence and started working on Sproutel, started working on Jerry the Bear.
So this is all pretty new.
Oh yeah, this is kind of the direct transition out of college. So we were able to Skype into our classes so that we could finish out our senior years, but this has been kind of a continuation of something that we started in school and we were incredibly passionate about. The whole kind of concept centered around our first product, Jerry the Bear, and a very basic insight that kids with type 1 diabetes were taking care of their stuffed animals as if they also had diabetes. They would inject their teddy bears, they would prick their fingers, they would even draw insulin pumps on pieces of paper and staple it to their bellies. And we said, oh, that's really neat. You know, they're taking out and acting out all the things they can't yet do to themselves onto their stuffed animals. And the more we worked, we realized that this is not just something that kids with diabetes do, it's something that all kids do. They play doctor. They use play as a way to learn, and it's really the way that kids perceive the world. Wow. And so at Sproutel, we really founded this company around leveraging play to help children understand their health.
Famous Rhode Island entrepreneur Mary Catherine Goddard was postmaster and is known for printing the first copy of the Declaration of Independence.
show me a little bit about how Jerry the Bear actually works.
So you've seen Jerry the Bear. You've got the plush, and we've got the GlucoPal, which is basically a custom Android tablet that we designed. So you can think of it kind of like a smartphone. And then here is what we refer to this as Jerry's central nervous system. So you've got the tablet here, and then this wireframe is just to illustrate what it looks like on the inside of the bear. But you've got various sensors. So on his mouth, we have an NFC reader. It works kind of like a Metro card. So we've got his food cards that you swipe over his mouth. And then the computer will show the type of food, and the child then needs to figure out, based on what food it was, and how many carbs it is, how many units of insulin they need to dose.
If I were to touch Jerry's, I guess it'd be his right finger right here, what would happen?
Yep, so the signal gets sent to the Android tablet, and then touching Jerry's finger when he's on his home screen checks his blood sugar. And so it triggers an event where basically it says, show the user what his blood sugar level is. And it'll show up on the screen, and they have to react on it.
Do you do manufacturing out of this space?
We do some light assembly work in here, and then we also just do like manufacturing line prototyping. For example, when we were training our plush factory how to assemble things, we make fixtures, we can test them in here, work out who does what, and then help then educate some of our factories in how to put things together.
Your plush factory, is it China?
It's in Phoenix, Arizona, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not go to China?
Well, there's actually 2 surviving stuffed animal factories in the US. I've been to both of them. Wow. One of them is fantastic, but doesn't make anything smaller than 5 feet tall. The other one is called Stuffington Bear Factory. They're located in Phoenix, Arizona.
Stuffington Bear Factory. Is the cost, I mean, what's the margin on Jerry the Bear?
These bears have about a 30% margin on them.
30%?
Yeah, and
okay.
it's largely driven because we make them in very, very small quantities.
Yeah.
They're very artisanally made at this point, if you will.
So if you did large runs, you could get that number way down.
Oh, absolutely.
So how did it go from a school project to a business? Because they're 2 very different things, obviously.
Baby steps. Lots of really small steps. So I mean, it started out, we were funding this with grants from school, whatever we could apply for. On one end, we were applying for grants that were $100, $200, $300, and that was pretty much just filling out a single sheet of paper that had, what do you want to do, what are you going to use the funding for, what's your rough budget, and when you have $100, your rough budget is pretty straightforward, right?
Right.
On the other end of the spectrum, when you're applying for federal funding, there is a good deal of paperwork. A lot of it is about really thoroughly understanding what it takes to get the grant, talking to people that have received it before, and talking to experts that can help guide you through the process.
How are you getting the word out to those families?
It started out pretty simply. So we would go to conferences, we would dress up like teddy bears, and we would play with a ton of kids.
Fun.
Yeah, super, super fun. Yeah. And so from there, that's how we kind of put our name on the map. And it's interesting because you can go to conferences where 5,000 children who are diagnosed come together from all across the country to meet other children with diabetes. And so that's how we kind of began both playtesting and also building our brands. Then we moved on to kind of the next step was engaging with bloggers and building a strong presence on social media.
Got it.
And then last, we actually rolled out bears to 1 in 4 pediatric endocrinologist waiting rooms. So when kids go to the doctor's office and they're waiting in the room, they get to play with Jerry. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is a myth that diabetes is contagious. People actually inherit the gene that makes them more susceptible to diabetes. In the US, over 29 million people, or 9.3% of the population, have diabetes.
My name is Pamela O'Neill. I'm the Vice President of Communication and Marketing at People Incorporated. And People Incorporated is the umbrella organization for the Diabetes Association, which has partnered with Sproutel for the Jerry the Bear pilot program that we've done.
How important is this little guy here?
These kids have really grown with Jerry, learning a lot more about education of their newly diagnosed diabetes. Jerry has been a comfort to them, and more importantly, an educational tool that they can relate with.
So how did you guys get in touch with Jerry the Bear?
My mom, one friend at work, as mom's friend, she told her about the Jerry the Bear site, so then my mom thought she should go there because I was a diabetic, and then I got Jerry the Bear.
What do you guys think? How's it affected her?
I think it's really helped us being within her first year of diagnosis.
Yeah.
It kind of gave us some tools to use a language to help communicate things with her in a level that could be understood. Yes. And it's super fun.
It is super fun.
It is fun.
What kind of stuff does Jerry do? What else? What kind of adventures do you guys go on together?
We go on a monkey adventure, we go on a cheetah adventure, we go on a shark adventure, and a penguin adventure.
You guys are buddies. Do a lot of stuff. What has been your greatest joy about doing what you're doing?
I mean, the greatest joy is seeing Jerry in the hands of kids.
Really?
And it's hearing from families. You know, we attested with families, we had a kind of a good sense, or we thought we had a good sense of what the impact would be. But after we shipped these out and we kept on checking back in with families, as we learned about how they were using it, it blew us away. And the stories that we started getting in, we have letters hanging up here on the walls that kids have written into us. When occasionally a bear, might have a problem and they send it in, they often send it in with a letter to Jerry's doctor saying, please bring my bear home safe, So they set a placemat for him at the dinner table. They go to bed with Jerry every night. He's not just a stuffed bear, he's their best friend.
Wow.
And so that's really the best part.
How's it looking for the future? I mean, in terms of, do you have projections for next year, for example?
Yeah, so what we're really, really excited about right now is the fall. In the fall, we're launching the next version of Jerry the Bear that not only appeals to children with type 1 diabetes, but has a broader focus for all kids to take a lot of the education that we've learned, as I said before, in nutrition and exercise and sleep and mindfulness, kind of these core pillars of wellness education. How do we build healthy behaviors in all kids? So that's what we're really stoked about.
So what would you say to other students that are in college working on a project that they think maybe I could make a life out of this?
Really surround yourself with people that believe in you and support you. Surround yourself with mentors that aren't afraid to call you out when you might
make a mistake.
Yeah, far outside of the ballpark when you make a mistake, and really believe in your success.
Thank you very much for talking with us today.
Thank you.
There are a million ways to start a business, but how did Aaron and Hannah do it? Let's find out. They started with around $20,000 in the bank, but spent over $600,000 to start the business. They've been open for 3 years and are yet to turn a profit. They received their funding from angel investors and grants, and the one word they would use to describe what it takes to make it in business is persistence.
Aaron and Hannah are literally changing lives, and they glue closer because of it. Type 1 diabetes is a very serious illness that affects thousands of children each year, but it looks like Jerry is making things a little bit easier to bear. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Sproutel. I'm on State Street in New Haven, Connecticut, and I'm gonna go talk to Stacey, the owner of Air Temple Arts, a studio that focuses on circus training, dance, and so much more. Let's go hear her story.
Aerial dance first became popular in the 1970s as a type of modern dance. One of the early influencers, Terry Sengraf, introduced the art in San Francisco in 1971. Aerial performers put themselves at risk to perform these beautiful dances all over the world. Stacey had always dreamt of owning her own business, so when the opportunity presented itself, she jumped at the chance to start this unique studio.
Hi, my name is Stacey Kigner. I'm the owner at Air Temple Arts. Our goal at Air Temple is to provide students of all ages and abilities with the best circus instruction possible.
Let's start by talking about you.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself as a person.
I'm from Minnesota. I came out east to go to college at Vassar, and I've stayed out here ever since.
What did you go to school for?
English.
Okay, so what was your first job out of college?
I would say being unemployed was my first job out of college. I actually went straight from college to grad school. That lasted a very short time, and then I left grad school to pursue a circus career, which entails at first a lot of being unemployed. And
Run off and join the circus, literally.
Yes, literally.
What is Air Temple Arts in like elevator pitch style?
Yeah, Air Temple Arts is an aerial dance and circus studio. We also do some other movement arts as well, so yoga and some dance classes as well.
A lot of people are not going to have a clue what that means.
Yeah, so aerial work is the kind of stuff that you see in Cirque du Soleil. It's the silks which are behind us. It also means trapeze, either static or flying, as well as aerial hoop.
What was that aha moment that you said, I am going to open Air Temple Arts?
I went and did teacher training kind of just because I knew I would probably want to teach to supplement my income at some point. I really enjoyed what I learned. From there, I found a gymnastics studio that would let me teach, and the experience of teaching at the studio was not great, but the experience of teaching was amazing, and I was like, I want to do this. I want to open a studio.
What does it take to get started in something like this? Is it just the silks? I mean, I know these pads are not cheap.
They are not, yeah. I kind of collected stuff over a long period of time. My husband had a lot of circus gear, the unicycles and stuff. He's been doing circus for a long time. But,
how much is one mat so people understand the price of these things?
These all came off of Craigslist, so these are all about $100 each, but the black crash mats there, those are about $600 plus
each.
Freight shipping, yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of money and stuff in here. Did you have to take out a loan, borrow money, investors? What did you do?
I actually just, had savings from college and from the couple of circus gigs that I did, and as I said, I just kind of bought things gradually as I had the money for it. We didn't start with all of these red and blue mats. We call those Grover because they're fuzzy and muppety. But I bought those when I had the money for them.
Tell me about the first couple months of opening.
The space that I was initially in, I found in, I guess, May of 2012, May of 2012, and they said it would be ready in July. I was like, all right, great. Signed the lease, they had to finish a couple walls and stuff. They didn't finish that until January of 2013.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
little delay.
Yeah, and in that time I had gotten students, I had, taken deposits for classes, so I was really scared. I was like, this business is gonna go under before it even starts. People are just gonna flee, but pretty much everyone who had initially signed up stayed with me, and some of them are.
So it didn't get sticky, they understood.
They did. People were very understanding. When we first opened, it was pretty much just me teaching a couple classes a week, and and then it's really just exploded from there.
Connecticut's personal income per capita is just over $59,000 a year, making it the highest in the country. This creates a great environment for startups to flourish.
How long have you been hanging around here?
I've been hanging here for about over a year now.
It's got to get tiring, huh?
Yeah, it gets a little tiring.
What is Stacey like? What does she like to work with?
She's amazing to work with. She has a really great sense of humor. She's very encouraging. She always pushes us past our limits that we didn't know were possible.
What got you interested?
I'd always had an interest in gymnastics, and I wanted to try something new.
Are you gonna run off and join the circus?
Hopefully. That's the goal.
So what other costs are associated with a place like this? I can imagine your liability insurance is through the roof.
Yes, absolutely. It's equivalent to at least a couple of months' rent.
How did you get the word out? Is it social media? Did you build a website? Did you do any traditional advertising?
Yes to all of the above. When I first started teaching, my main advertising was actually flyers. There are a lot of bulletin boards in New Haven and coffee shops that are very friendly about that. So I went around and flyered like crazy. I made up postcards. I just left them everywhere. I would go into every shop and be like, can I leave these here? They would say yes. So initially that's all I did. I did get a website, but at first it was pretty much just word of mouth, and that continues to be the main mode of advertising, though we do have a much larger social media presence.
You post a lot, Instagram, Twitter, everything?
Yep, yeah, and that's
it's visual.
Exactly,
obviously.
Yeah, and so students love to take a picture of what they learned in class and share it with people, and then if they tag the studio on Instagram, we'll repost it for them. Yeah, and so it's very much a give-take, and it shows all their friends the cool stuff that they're doing, and then the friends come and try it.
Nice.
Due to the twisting and contorting nature of aerial dancing, no safety lines or harnesses can be used for risk of hanging or other fatal injury.
How do you feel about trying out maybe a little bit of a sequence?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Okay. All right. You want to keep your standing leg nice and straight when you do this. You're gonna hold on at your shoulders, and the first pose we call triangle. So you're gonna let your arms go and come into this seated position. Push your hips up, keep your arms straight. For dolphin,
Okay, nice stretch.
bring your free leg through the middle, hook it as high as you can,
Okay.
and then you can let go with that hand for Susan.
Holy cow, okay. And jeans are definitely the best thing to have for
Definitely
these.
the best.
So the hard part, getting my foot in here.
Yeah,
Good, got it.
good, good.
All
Yeah,
right,
get
now,
it. Yeah, there you go.
said shoulder, right?
Yeah, shoulder height.
So standing shoulder height,
Yep.
okay?
Yeah. And now push your hips up for the dolphin. Yeah. And now let go with that hand. Yeah. Awesome.
And then forward.
Yep. And then forward. Awesome. Yeah. And then just come
I
back.
can fly.
That was awesome.
Wow, was that graceful?
It was the most graceful thing I have ever seen.
All right, I'm gonna need to sleep for a week. What do you do here? Are you into the silks or just trapeze?
I've
or-
actually done every apparatus.
Okay, what's your
I've tried
favorite?
everything.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is the lira, which is the hoop over there on the wall. There's just been such an incredible difference in how I feel about myself.
Yeah, self-esteem.
Absolutely. And just like, there's such a wonderful community here. So many, like, I could come here, I could have the worst day ever, and I could come here, and within 5 minutes I'd be smiling and laughing. Like,
So you
nothing ever
you come here to climb on stuff to keep your feet on the ground.
Exactly.
What's been the hardest thing you've had to overcome, the biggest challenge from day one of starting this thing, personally, professionally, up until now?
I've had to just kind of learn all of this on the fly myself. I don't really have any other experience. I do all of our website stuff. I do all of the graphic design. I do all of our marketing. And
Are you here a lot?
Yeah, I'm here a lot. And when I'm at home, I'm basically working and doing all of that admin stuff. So it'd be nice to have somebody else doing that.
Maybe turn it off once in a while, right?
Yeah, and have free time ever would be nice.
What is your best piece of advice for another entrepreneur out there trying to start their own thing?
Just do it, I think. I had, a 5-year plan for starting the studio. I was like, why 5 years? What is stopping me from doing this right now? I thought about it and the answer was nothing.
So your advice is just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come in and kind of take over your space for a little bit, and best of luck to you in the future.
Thanks for coming.
Yep.
There are a million ways to start a business, but how did Stacey do it? Let's find out. She started with around $6,000 in the bank and a credit score of 750. In her first year, her sales were around $30,000 and she operated at a profit. She has a college-level education, and the one word she would use to describe what it takes to make it in business is tenacity.
Starting a business is like walking a tightrope. You have to aim high, but remain flexible, focused, and balanced. Looks like Stacey is climbing her way to success and has New Haven residents doing backflips over this new concept. For more information, log onto our website and click the link for Air Temple Arts.
I ended up in a really great place in life, but I risked it all several times. I was not able to get a loan. I got turned down by 27 banks because I really did not know how to project and do a business, forecast. When I did take a mortgage on my house, I almost lost my house and my entire business because it was my lack of understanding of paying for raw goods 90 days in advance and paying for salaries and staffs, and then my receivables were taking 60 and 90 days, and it was my lack of financial intelligence. So I was about to risk every single thing that I had. Then even after I made money, I probably blew about $10 million the first 4 years, and it wasn't anything else besides not knowing how the tool of money works. And that's the most important thing. Business is there's only two ways to operate business. Reduce costs, increase sales. That's it. There's no other way.
Next time on Startup, we head to Bloomfield Hills, Michigan to talk to the James sisters who founded Drought Juice. Then we head over to Wallingford, Connecticut to talk to Denisha, the owner of Plucked Admissions. Be sure to join us next time on Startup.
And then what is it you do for a living?
I play professional football for the Detroit Lions.
Okay, this is the big question. Super Bowl is here?
Yes.
Come on, please. Yeah. Please, I'm begging. It's been
You've written your own story of success, and it shows. Chrysler is proud to support Startup and all the people out there who define their own success.
The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is proud to support Startup and all the dreamers, thinkers, and doers. Pure Michigan, ready for the next big thing.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
There is nothing easy about starting a small business. A Baker's Tale, all natural and gluten-free cookies, tarts, pies, and cakes online. A Baker's Tale is proud to support Startup and all of the entrepreneurs out there trying to sweeten their own story of success.